So the minerals deal between the US and Ukraine has finally been signed. After many months of wrangling, we have a deal. However, is this deal actually going to provide any benefit to Ukraine or to the US? That is actually not clear. I took a look at the text of the signed minerals deal this morning, and a couple of months ago I reacted to the draft minerals deal that then infamously was never signed between the US and Ukraine after that diplomatic debacle in the Oval Office, the shouting match between US President Donald Trump, US Vice President J.D. Vance, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. And what's interesting for me is the text departs quite dramatically, or quite considerably, maybe not dramatically, because none of it's really dramatic. It definitely is different to the language that was used and the terms that were contained in that draft agreement. So it's almost like they just went back and started to talk about other things that they were looking for. The US has been accused of trying to negotiate a neo-colonial deal with Ukraine, basically demanding that they hand over their mineral wealth in exchange for not very much, if anything, in return, because US will not supply a security guarantee to Ukraine, which is basically the main thing that Ukraine is looking for, so that they can be sure that in the future, if Russia continues its aggression against them, that then they would have the backing militarily of the United States. So looking at the minerals deal, there is no US security guarantee. Their big difference with the draft agreement from before is that now it is not just limited to a certain set of minerals. There's actually other natural resources that potentially will be exploited jointly by the US and Ukraine. There is a clause stating that basically it cannot hinder Ukraine's accession to the European Union. That's quite important for Ukraine because that is a strategic goal. So it's not that the US is going to be privileged to such an extent that it would be incompatible with EU law and Ukraine's eventual accession to the European Union. Also there are terms stating that the money will be reinvested into Ukraine for the reconstruction of the country. So why has so much political energy been expended on negotiating this deal? It is not clear whether there are really that many minerals to be exploited. It's only going to be new minerals. Also, there is no talk of payback or paying back some sort of debt, as Donald Trump is trying to indicate when he makes up these numbers like 350 billion US dollars that apparently has been given to Ukraine, when the real number is considerably lower. It's not clear to me that there's really, when we look at the text, that much clear benefit to Ukraine or to the US in this deal. I guess the fact that they got it signed and they can claim that they are in closer cooperation will have some political benefit to Donald Trump. You can say he got something done. It's like 100 days of his second presidency are now up, and yesterday actually was the 100 days. I guess he got something signed, but at the same time, it doesn't really seem clear what exactly he's got, even monetarily for the US. It could be that when the terms are later negotiated down to the granular level about what is going to be exploited in Ukraine jointly by the US and Ukraine, that there isn't actually going to be very much. So, and from Ukraine's point of view, they still haven't got a security guarantee. If this leads to the US now selling Ukraine more materiel as a result of Donald Trump feeling like he got a political win out of this, he's able to show something, he got a deal done, then I guess this is a benefit to Ukraine. If that wouldn't have happened otherwise, other than that, I'm not really seeing very much. It's maybe not a nothing burger, to use a quote from Donald Trump that he used many years ago, but it is not very substantive, and there will have to be a future deal negotiated to actually outline the details of what is going to be exploited and where and how. So it's done, there's a deal. However, it is not very clear really what the real benefit is to either side. Drop your comments down below about what you think about this mineral deals and the whole debacle or the wrangling that's gone on over the last few months over something that at the end of the day, Ukraine kind of, I guess, negotiates different strategic deals with lots of countries to very little fanfare. But this one, even though it doesn't seem to deliver very much, has resulted in much fanfare at least in the media for the last day or so. If you were coming here to Ukraine, obviously still in Lviv, you can see the beautiful facade. Well, you can't really see because the sun is very strong, of the University of Lviv. Just over there, maybe 200, 300 meters away, is the beautiful upper house of Lviv. So if you come here, I definitely encourage you to go and see that. If you're coming, I have my guide down below in the description. Not only will it help you keep as safe as possible here with logistical information and safety information, but also it has my hospitality guide for not just here in Lviv, but also Odessa, Kyiv, Chernivtsi, and Uzhhorod. They're the 5 cities that are most popular, which are not that close to the front lines in Ukraine. So a bit safer to go to those cities than if you were going to say Mykolaiv or Kherson or Kharkiv, Dnipro, Zaporizhia. So save you loads of time, and it is down below in the description to this video. And I will bid you a do pobачення, and as always, as written on this t-shirt, Slava Ukraini.